Hello, everyone. Welcome to the 15 minutes of game. I'm here, Javon. We got Stephen Jules. So we are going to be talking a little NFL today. And it's free agency time, boys. So let's kind of dive in here in the wide receiver group. And I want to talk about Mr. Kenny Golladay, the premier wide receiver, probably a top 10 talent in the league. Let's talk Kenny G. Is it a good decision to let him go for the Lions? So from the Lions perspective, do you think it was good to let him go? And give me two potential landing spots you think that would be good for him or good for the team picking him up. So either one of you go right ahead.
I do think it was a good decision to let him test the free agent market. They got a new coach that's talking about biting knees or breaking knees or whatever it is. And ironically, Kenny Golladay is always hurt with a broken knee or something. So I really like him.
He just didn't want to play, man. Come on.
I like him as a player, but 2017 he missed 5 games, hamstring injury. 2018 he missed the last game of the season, and 2020 he missed 9 games. So if you got a new coaching staff coming in and new people coming in, I don't know if that's the best guy to keep on. Not that he's a bad player when he plays, he's killer. To answer your question, where do I think are two good places for him to go? One, I'd like to see him on the Dolphins with Devontae Parker. They've got $32 million in cap space, a young quarterback. To have 2 wide receivers like that would be huge for him. And then I know, maybe off the show, we bash this team a lot, especially Javon and me. But the Jets, man, it's either whether it's Deshaun Watson or Sam Darnold or Zach Wilson from BYU, they've got $68 million in cap space, and their best receivers were Jamison Crowder, no knock, and Rashad Perriman. They've got a lot of money. I know, like I said, he's injury prone, but no matter who the quarterback is, one of those 3 or somebody else, he's a solid guy. If he stays healthy, like he did in 2019, he's a great player. He's a great receiver. So those are my thoughts.
I'm gonna go opposite, Steve. I think the Lions are making a bad decision. I know it's a rebuilding team, rebuilding moment for that organization, but I feel like Goff could have worked well with Galladay, and we could have seen what would happen with Anthony Lynn running the offense. But it is interesting what you said about Galladay. He's injury prone. He didn't play. He played less than half the games last season. And to answer your question about those 2 teams, I had the Patriots and New York Giants for him. Just for the Patriots, they don't have that number 1 guy, that receiver. I feel like they re-signed Cam a few days ago. So giving Cam a presence, and Belichick, he loves taking something from nothing and making it something. So having Kenny Golladay bounce back from that season last year to a new season with the coach he probably trusts more will give him that incentive to play well and find some new life, because he's coming into his 5th season. And for the Giants, with Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley, Evan Ingram, I feel like that's a young offensive potential talented team. So just him going on the outside, giving Daniel Jones that threat could open a lot of things for the Giants with Ingram and Barkley.
I like it. I'm going to agree with you on one thing and disagree with you on another, Jules. So I agree that I think New England would be a great landing spot for him because they have a bunch of money to spend, and Cam needs something on the outside, a perimeter playmaker, because their wide receivers they just don't draft them well. They're not very good, just saying it nicely. Okay. And I think another good landing spot for him would be the Ravens, because I've never seen Lamar Jackson have a really nice talent on the outside to throw a deep ball to, or someone that can just really go up and grab a jump ball. So I'd like to see him get another weapon, and that offense would be pretty exciting. As far as the Lions go, I think it was the right move, probably because, new coaching staff, rebuild mode. He's going to demand top dollar for a wide receiver. So I think it was the right move for them. So staying with the wide receiver market here, let's play GM for a little bit. If you guys are down, if you were a GM and you could only sign one receiver out of this group of three, so in my opinion, I think these are the top three available after Kenny G. Between Juju, Corey Davis, or Will Fuller the fifth, who would you sign and why?
Go for it, Julian.
I'm gonna keep it with the Juju squad. I'm gonna go with Juju Smith-Schuster. Just because of his durability and what we've seen from him 2 seasons ago with Antonio Brown and Ben, he hit that 1,000-yard receiving mark. So we know like his potential and what he can do for your team in the slot or on the outside if needed. And he's physical, loves blocking. So I'll take Juju over those two guys.
Nice. Well, I thought long and hard on this one and immediately crossed Will Fuller off. Just talking about injury-prone wide receivers, he's always hurt. His stats last season were great in 11 games, like 900 yards almost and 8 touchdowns. But he misses too many games. But since you picked Juju, I had all the same positive things to say about him. But I had Corey Davis literally right under him. 14 games last season, just under 1,000 yards, 5 touchdowns. He's 26 years old. No knock to the Titans or Tannehill, but you put him on a team with a better QB. I mean, who knows what he can do? And I know Javon might pick Corey Davis too, because he's a Titans fan. But yeah, I kind of had it neck and neck between either Davis or Juju. So
Yeah, I'm going to go with Corey Davis, even though I don't think he comes back to Tennessee. Agree with the points you were saying, Steve. He did flash in a few games last year. He's a top 5 pick. I don't know if anyone remembers that, but he was selected in the top 5 during that draft class. So I think maybe his second stop could be a better situation for him. Like you said, maybe a better offensive scheme or just an overall better quarterback. So we'll see what happens. Maybe he jumps up some fantasy draft boards next season.
What if you get him somewhere like, before you go on to the next thing, somewhere
Yeah.
like the Chargers or the Bengals with a young QB that have a solid receiver already. So kind of like AJ Brown, right? So he doesn't have to come in and be the number one, but he's still, I mean, look at the numbers he put up as the quote unquote number 2, 65 catches and almost 1,000 yards. Juju had almost 100 catches, but 830 yards. So with 30 something more catches, so.
Yeah. I think any of those guys would be like a top end number 2. I don't know if they're wide receiver ones though at this point.
Right.
Agreed.
Yeah. Okay. So let's switch to the backfield, tailbacks, running backs, halfbacks. Breaking news just came in. Aaron Jones just signed a 4-year, $48 million deal with the Green Bay Packers. So my question to you guys, good deal or bad deal for the Green Bay Packers?
NFC North expert.
Well, I will be unbiased. Normally I say with running backs, it's not great to pay them tons of money because, as our next topic will be, you'll see there's other really solid free agent running backs that you can pick up. They've got him now. I grabbed these stats from U Stadium. He is the sixth highest paid running back now, behind CMC, Alvin Kamara, Zeke, Dalvin Cook, and Derrick Henry. But I think if anybody's worth it, he is. He had a great season last season. I think they're doing it because Aaron Rodgers is the QB. Maybe if they've got some young QB, maybe they don't do it. Maybe they let him walk. But because they've got such a good team and a veteran quarterback like that, I think it kind of had to be done. His career numbers are kind of crazy. He's got almost 3,400 yards, 37 touchdowns. He's only 26 years old. So for the Green Bay Packers, I don't think it was a bad move. I think some people might question it. They drafted A.J. Dillon in the second round last year. But all these teams will tell you it's never bad having, 2 or 3 really solid running backs.
So true. And as we've seen, AJ Dillon, he seems like he's learning from Aaron Jones.
Yeah.
I like that signing for Green Bay. Just because I feel like Aaron, he's earned it, improved it, especially from 2 seasons ago with that 16 rushing touchdown season, and just his liability. Like you could tell that Aaron Rodgers, he trusts Aaron Jones. Like he trusts Davante Adams the most, but Aaron Jones is next. So just having that insurance for Aaron Rodgers, letting him know we want to win, we have the guys, we want to add more. We need to add more, but we want to give you your key guys to help you get to where you guys need to go. And that's past the NFC Championship.
Yeah, they're going to need some weapons to compete with Tampa. So it's for real, man. I mean, those guys down there, it's like an all-star Pro Bowl team. But I think this was a good deal for Green Bay. I was surprised with how much he's getting paid because he's up there with like you said, Steve, Derrick Henry. He's not quite up to like the Zeke or CMC level, but he is top 10 now. Yeah. So I think Green Bay is just saying to Aaron Rodgers, like, all right, we're giving you the weapons you need. I did think back to that game against Tampa when he fumbled. Was it 3 times or twice?
Oh, I think 2 times.
Twice. Yeah. They took him out after that second one.
Yeah, so I was like, that was the only thing I thought about when it went before this deal happened was if they thought, okay, maybe he doesn't have that ball security because if Bill Belichick maybe was running the team, he wouldn't have paid him. So overall, I do think it is a good deal for Green Bay, though. So sticking with running backs, we're gonna go back and play GM again. Who would you sign of this group? Out of this group. So we have Kenyon Drake. He's a free agent from the Cardinals. Chris Carson, who I didn't realize is a free agent from the Seahawks. And then Leonard Fournette just got his ring, is also a free agent as well. So what do you think? Those are probably the top 3 backs left in the free agency market. If you were a GM, who would you want on your roster?
We got just about 2.5 minutes left. So I have all these stats, but I'll make it quick.
Okay.
Chris Carson, I love him. His stats are crazy for only playing 45 games. 3,200, just over 3,200 yards and 21 touchdowns. But he broke his hip last season. That scares me. Fournette, almost 4,000 yards, 23 touchdowns. Same thing. Both those guys only made $2 million last season. But for whatever reason, he seems like an old man to me. I know he balled out plenty of times this year. I would go with Drake. His numbers are very similar to Aaron Jones, 3,130 yards, 27 touchdowns, over 1,200 receiving yards. That's who I'd go with. And I think you can get them for any one of those guys, but you can get them for much less than what Aaron Jones just signed for. So I'd go with Drake.
I would go with Leonard Fournette just because he's like that number 1 running back with 1,000-yard rushing seasons in his 4-year career. And he's willing to block, pick up that O-line guy for Brady or whoever his quarterback is. So I like Leonard's toughness. I'll pick Leonard.
Where would you pick him to go? Ooh. My pick was
I'll say Tampa Bay.
All right, Tampa Bay.
He seems like it's a good fit for him out there.
I got Drake to the Steelers replacing James Conner. Sorry, Javon, I left you with 58 seconds.
That's okay. We'll make it quick. It's cool. We all disagreed on this one. I'm going with Chris Carson.
Nice.
Yeah, he's productive when he's healthy. I mean, that is the big injury question is, will he stay healthy? He's a dual threat. He can catch out of the backfield and he can run between the tackles. So I'll go with Chris Carson as my choice.
Nice. I'll say this. His numbers are very similar to the other 2 guys that were in your group with about 30 less games. So he's definitely productive. It's
yeah,
we'll see what staying on the field. So
right. We'll see what Seattle does with him and the rest of that situation. So want to say thank you to everybody that listened or watched the show today. This is the 15 minutes a game. We're signing off here. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok and check out our podcast. We're on Apple Podcasts as well.